Hi there, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. You are watching Tad Talk, and it's with me, Sam Kane, tonight. So I apologise if you're used to getting Terry, and I apologise if you're used to getting Nick. Yes, I'm having these things forced upon me quite regularly, but I'm loving them because I get to know people even deeper, even better, and a little bit under the skin. And that's what we're going to do tonight with our two amazing guests. We are Season 2, Episode 19 of Tad Talk. We had our 50th episode last night. If you didn't see it, please get on the Tad Management website or get on the YouTube Tad Management. Have a look, check it out. It's brilliant. There's so many there. Check them all out. But tonight we have two incredible guests, two friends of mine who both work with Tad. One hasn't really had a gig yet, but she is gagging for it, as everyone. Well, I should rephrase that, shouldn't I? She cannot wait. She is chomping at the bit. We haven't got to know each other that well, but maybe we will over the next 45 minutes or so. And that's Kalo. And also we've got the beautiful Mr. Adam Westcott, who is with us, who we will tell you all about. So good evening, guys. How are you doing? Are you well? Kalo, are you well?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me on here.
Oh, you're welcome. How's lockdown been for you?
You know what? Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. I thought it would drive me insane, but my house has never been cleaner. Everything that needed repairing is sorted. You know, I've been productive.
I was going to say, and what have you been doing? Because your fella's been doing all the work, I assume. You just...
Oh, you cheeky devil!
But I've got to tell you, you look fantastic. You look fantastic tonight. We were talking about how amazing your hair is and your whole look. It's just brilliant. You look fantastic. So, and Adam, how are you, buddy? Adam Westcott?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was a real pleasure. So, it's been just a mad time, but I've been trying to keep busy every single day and music and doing all sorts. So, yeah, trying to keep busy.
Well, Kaylo's with a husband in her house. What about you? Have you got anybody to share it with? Anyone keeping you company?
I'm with mum and dad. So my sister is up in Wales. I do live in Spain, but it would have been a very, very lonely existence there. So I thought I'll come back because in Spain you weren't allowed out at all. So I thought, 10 weeks of that would be a bit mad. So come back here to England.
It's a lot heavier in Spain. So Kaylo, you're with your husband in your house. Divorce rate's gone up massively. How's things? Everything good?
Everything is absolutely fine. There's myself and Stephen, my husband of 13 years, and our little lad George. So
how old's George?
He's going to be 10 in September. Double figures.
We'll talk about your family in a minute. So we're going to start off with three beautiful random questions, and the first one is I'm going to ask Adam first. Adam, is there one thing that you will not share with absolutely anybody?
No, I don't think so. I'm an open book, I think.
Oh, there's got to be something. I mean, it's got to be something. With me, it's dessert with my wife. When we order dessert in a restaurant, she says, I don't want any dessert, and then eats all of mine. And just buy it.
I see. Okay. I thought he was talking like a secret or something. Sorry. I share. I'd share most things apart from probably a dessert. Like maybe a little spoonful, but that's it. Got to keep it real.
Even a little spoonful for me, it's like, I'll give you anything. I say a funny thing about my dad. My dad's an amazing man. He'll give you anything. It's one of those men he's a big gesture, And I said one day, he'll give you a Rolex watch, but he won't tell you the time. He's that kind of guy, you know what I mean? What about you, Kaylo? Is there anything that you won't share with anybody?
Oh, you know what? I've got a bit of a thing for quiche. I love a quiche. I mean... Quiche Lorraine, I won't share that with anybody. I love it so much that on my birthday a couple of years ago, rather than baking me a cake, my friends made me a massive quiche with candles in it, of which I didn't share any.
It's a bit odd, but I like quiche myself, and a little bit of bacon. Made myself an amazing quiche a few weeks ago. I'm addicted to quiche now, so maybe I'll do that as well. Next question, you're going to go first. What are the top 3 things on your bucket list?
Let me think. They're quite, they're not extreme things like jumping out of planes or anything. I'd love to travel just once in my life, first class. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to travel in a gondola. That's probably more realistic at some point in my life. And I would love to go and do a stint in a West End show. I would love to do that.
Well, all achievable, certainly in the business you're in. You never know, upgrades can happen, you know, and chances are it could take you to Venice. Just to give you a little bit of background about Kalo, do you want to just tell everybody what it is you do and how you do it?
Oh, right. I was hoping somebody was going to tell me. I'm classed as a comedy vocalist, personality vocalist. So it's not just about standing there and singing, although I do that. It's about unique arrangements of the songs, you know, mashups, as the kids call them, and with the kids. But also storytelling. The show that I do is my flagship show, I suppose, is Are You Sitting Comfortably? Let's Drink Gin. And that's it's very much based on Watch with Mother, the art of storytelling, a few jokes thrown in, and then throw some songs in with it as well. And we have a party. It's good fun.
We'll take a look at all of that a little bit later as well. Adam, I'm going to bring the question to you about the 3 things on your bucket list. What would they be, my friend?
I'd say skydiving.
Whoa.
Definitely, I think that'd be unreal. And getting a Formula One car, probably not driving myself, but at least like have a ride around it. And performing in Vegas.
Bit of an adrenaline junkie, you aren't you, buddy?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I know Adam. I've known Adam quite a few years, and if you saw him, you're quite shy, quite retiring, but underneath all that thin veneer is an absolute lunatic.
Yeah. I think it'd be amazing. The skydiving would be incredible. Just that rush and to see the Earth from that far out would be amazing. The speed of the Formula One car, and I think just as an artist, you know, Vegas is considered one of the pinnacles. So I think that would certainly be one of my things I'd love.
To jump out of a plane, it's like that's hell for me. I couldn't even consider it. You've got to be slightly missing something. Some people love it, don't they? And Adam, listen, tell everybody what it is that you do. And I've seen what you do, and you are probably one of the best people in the world at what you do.
Oh, thank you. I play flamenco and classical guitar, and I play mainly gypsy flamenco. I was very lucky and fortunate to go and meet my guitar idol, a man called Manitas de Plata, who was just this flamenco god. And he sold 93 million albums playing this just explosive gypsy style of music. And yeah, that I went down to say thanks to the music, and he took me in and mentored me, and yeah, kind of went on from there. So flamenco is my thing.
It's an incredible story. Incredible story. Okay, last question of the 3 random questions selection. Kalo, who is your celebrity crush?
My celebrity crush?
Is your husband in the room?
Don't tell him. It's got to be Tom Hardy. Ooh, he's a beautiful man.
I'm not being funny. I'm not that way inclined, but you know, he'd do it for me as well. He's got it all going on, hasn't he, Tom?
Oh, he's beautiful. He really is. He's a beautiful man, and he's very talented, and that makes him even more attractive. So,
yeah, very talented. Quite dangerous as well. He's been through a lot, hasn't he, Tom? He's done a lot in his life.
Yeah.
Great.
I love his versatility. You know, if he's playing, you know, Bane and Batman, he's bigged and bulked up, and then you've got him in Peaky Blinders. He's just, he's a chameleon of an actor. He's amazing. Love him.
The Craze movie he did. The Craze movie he did. Have you seen that one?
Oh, Legend is one of my favourite movies of all time. He is phenomenal in that. He really is. If you've not seen it, folks, watch
Legend.
that.
What a movie Legend is. Have you seen it, Adam?
Amazing. Absolutely brilliant. The ability to do both of those characters is just something else.
And so different, aren't they? The contrast between one to the other. It's just brilliant. So is Tom Hardy your celebrity crush as well?
No, I'm slightly different. I'd say Cameron Diaz for me. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Especially in that smile and in the mask, in that red dress is...
what a film something. That was. A bit breathtaking, wasn't you, Cameron Diaz? So we're going to look a little bit into your lives now, if you don't mind. So, Kalo, I want to know the name. What's that all about? Kalo, is it K, little hyphen, lowercase L?
Hyphen, K hyphen L-O. So I get people to think of it, it's like J-Lo, but much less money in the bank. That's the the way I put it across. I wish it was a really interesting story, but it's not really. I found when I was working purely as a singer, there were so many, Kelly Louises around. That is my name, Kelly Louise. Eloise, Emma Louise, Amy Louise. And it kind of got to the point where I needed to differentiate. And especially when I started doing the comedy, I didn't want something that was going to scream female singer. And they are initially, before I was married, KLO were my initials, which just Kalo, J-Lo.
Oh, that's great. That's where it come from. I've added a few kilos over lockdown. I mean, my lockdown layers are getting bigger and bigger. The amount of weight I've put on. I lost about 10 pounds to a stone when I had coronavirus. And when I came home from hospital, that went on in like a day, back to normal. And then it's just been growing since. But it will come off eventually. Have you guys managed to stay fit and keep healthy and do that through the lockdown?
Well, there's something they say that we will all come out of lockdown one of three ways: a hunk, a chunk, or a drunk. I'm probably a little of all three. I try very hard to exercise, and then I let myself down because I'll have a glass of Prosecco or two, and then I get the munchies. So, which one of those? Two of three. So, what about the business, Kalo? How did it all start for you? Is it a thing that you started as a kid, like an ambition growing up? Well, I truly belong to family Von Trapp. My parents were in the industry, so it was something that just was natural to me, I guess. I mean, I was carried around in a little suitcase whenever they went on their gigs. Little makeshift suitcases made into a bed.
But they carried you around in a suitcase?
Yeah, they they carry around, head was sticking out.
Probably a little 21st century, but then we can go with it.
But yeah, I was on all their gigs with them when I was little. So I'd even been a little baby, and the one day I would have been about 2 years old, something like that. My parents were up there doing their thing. They were a duo, singing and accordion, and the one day the audience started laughing in the wrong place. They couldn't understand what was going on. They looked behind, and little 2-year-old me had waddled onto the stage, grabbed my mother's tambourine and was banging it at the side of her. And it was inevitable I was going to do something like this. It's in your blood, isn't it?
It was the first time the show got a laugh, so you were in. That was it.
Yay!
What an introduction. It's brilliant news. I'm getting a couple of messages here, Kalo. Sylvia Millership, she says you're a brilliant singer.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much.
Do you know Sylvia? Do you know Sylvia?
I do know Sylvia. Yeah, I do know Sylvia. She lives next door to my parents, and I did a performance for VE Day recently. Because I do, as well as doing sort of the comedy and the vocals, I do lots of different sort of tribute shows, genre tribute shows mainly. So I do Hope and Glory, which is war songs and sing-alongs, a musical theatre show, 60s and 70s show, 80s and 90s. And I did a performance for VE Day with all the sing-alongs and got all the neighbours out, and it was lovely.
Well, we've just stopped clapping hands on a Thursday night in the UK. They put a stop to it last night, was the last one. Just explain a little bit more about what you did, because you got dressed up and you were explaining a little bit earlier about all the neighbours coming out, and there was one neighbour in particular.
Yeah, well, I kind of noticed it on the Thursday clap. Where I live, there's a lot of elderly people around, and we were discussing it a little bit earlier with Adam that for some people, who are on their own, lockdown, it must be really, really difficult if you're on your own. I mean, it's hard enough kind of being at home with my husband and homeschooling the little one, But I think, people who are spending hours and hours on their own, it must be very hard. And I noticed on the Thursday clap, she'd come out and she'd always be sort of the last one to go back in. She was obviously looking around, seeing if there was anybody else there to talk to, because it was the only contact she was getting from one week to the next. So when VE Day came around, I thought, well, got a glorious day. It's a show that I already do. So I put the little outfit on and I set up the speakers, and all of the neighbours came out on their driveways with cups of tea, and they all sang along and they danced on their driveways. And I was really overwhelmed, actually, because I got so many thank you cards after that. And one of them just brought a tear to my eye. One lady said, I've lived on this street for 2 years. I love my neighbours, you know, but I didn't know many people. I didn't have the opportunity to kind of engage with people. But just that moment, that hour of having a sing-song together gave me the opportunity to kind of talk to people from a distance. And I think that night, her and a few of the neighbours stayed up till 10 o'clock, just getting to know one another, sat on their driveways, cup of tea. And that music was an opportunity just for them to get together and share an experience, have a bit of hope. Because I think by that point, people were really starting to...
Yeah, I was right in the middle of it. And it was a big day as well, being VE Day, that the whole nation came together, and certainly with the US as well. I've got Mary Davis here. She says the VE Day was brilliant. Do you know Mary Davis? Does she live in your street?
She doesn't live on my street, but I think a few people shared videos about Facebook. So, she'd have got to see it. Hello.
Laura Jean Daniels says it was an amazing surprise. So there's lots of fans in here for you, which is great news.
Oh, wow. Yay. I'm honoured.
When I was chatting to you a while ago, you were talking about the connection with the audience. Is that kind of what shoved you forward or surged you forward to go more into comedy, having that personality up there?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think we touched on it earlier before we went live about having that character to step into. You know, Kalo is very much a character, but in honesty, she's the person that I would like to be all the time if I could. You know, it's Kelly that's doing all the hard work, the driving, the setting up the equipment. It's Kalo having all the fun. And I think that thing where you engage with an audience and you have a real... you build a friendship with them. And I found this. If I walk into a venue and they say, hello, Kelly, how you doing? There's a stage. This is what do you do tonight? And I leave and they're saying, oh, that was great, Kel. That was great, Kalo. I know that they feel that they've made a real connection. They feel like they've made a friend. And that's what I try and do. I try to, bring everybody into my crew and we have a good old laugh together. That's what I try to do.
It's all about the audience, isn't it? Always is. There to serve. So with Tad, you've just joined pretty much recently, and during this lockdown situation and coronavirus. So we haven't actually put you out anywhere. You haven't been out to graze on any of the ships or ply your trade or see how it goes. Hopefully we'll get a chance to stick you on a showcase and let all the bookers have a look at you and see how brilliant you are. But just to give you guys a little look at what Kalo does, there's a little compilation that we have from the Tad Management website. Take a look at this.
Bless them all, bless them all, bless the long and the short and the tall. Bless all the corporals and WO1s, bless all the corporals and their blinking sons, 'cause we're saying goodbye to them all. As back to their billets they crawl, you'll get no promotion this side of the ocean, so cheer up my lads, bless them all. Always be an England shall be free. If England means as much to you as England means to me. Red, white and blue, what does it mean to you? Surely you're proud, shout it out loud, Britain's away. I don't wanna walk alone, I'm ready for this, there's no denying. I'm ready for this, you stop me falling. I'm ready for this, I need you all in. I'm ready for this, so darling, won't you hold my hand?
We're going to do something just a little bit different because I have recently joined Slimming World. Do we know about Slimming World? like Weight Watchers, but £1 cheaper. Crunchies and munchies, Mars bars and Snickers. Cadbury's cream eggs means I buy bigger knickers. Stews in the winter and Pims in the spring. I simply can't help it, I'll drink anything. When I'm hangry, I get angry, and that makes me sad. I simply devour my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. And I never know the reason why you love me as you do. It's I had to let him go. Her name was New York, New York, and she took his heart away. Oh my, her name was New York, New York. She had poisoned his sweet mind.
Kelly, you are so free on that stage. It's great to see. You just love being up there, don't you? There's certain people who set foot on a stage and it's their home. I can see that's that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What's your, out of all of those shows, what's your favourite one to, and that's just a snippet of what you do. What's your favourite show that you do?
Probably my main show, Are You Sitting Comfortably?
Yeah.
Closely followed by the musical theatre show, which I love musicals, so just jazz hands.
Why the shift from going from a singer then to add comedy? Did it happen by osmosis, or was it accident?
Well, I think I've never been somebody that kind of just stands there and sings. I've always sort of engaged and talked, and I think that's sort of what separates you from just being a singer who's going to stand there and just sing songs. And I just think, I mean, there are so many incredible vocalists out there. I think if you kind of want to get on and move in different directions, like moving into cruise ships, you do have to kind of offer something slightly different. And I thought, well, what is it that I do? Well, I'm quite endearing. I can be quite funny. Let's put it all together and see what happens. And that was where that show came from, really. And then I found that was sort of, it was actually my comfort zone. Yeah.
Well, be a great success in the future. It's a one-woman variety show is what it is. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
Well done. Great job. We're going to have a little chat with Adam now, if you don't mind, Kayla. We're going to have a little chat with him. We've been happily ignoring him, sat down there. Adam, are you on a little chair? Is that on the floor, that chair?
It's not. Yes, I actually thought that. I thought I might, because I did just like press a little lever and it went down a bit.
It's like your first day at school, isn't it? Look.
A bit more comfortable, but I am sitting on the chair, not on the floor.
I'm going to call the register now. Okay. Westcott, are you there? Are you present? It's great to see you, mate. It's been a long time since I've seen you in the flesh, mate. Well, certainly face to face. Adam and I, we met, well, I'll let you explain, Adam. We met quite a few years ago, didn't we?
Yeah, 2011, I did my first resident contract, and then must have been several times in a couple of months, and then same as in 2012 and 2013. So, yeah, it has been a while since we've kind of had a face-to-face like this. But
well, I was guest entertaining on those ships, and you were resident playing the Spanish guitar, and I remember coming in and just thinking, I've always kind of dabbled with the guitar, but then when you see you realise that you're completely wasting one's time. So I just put the guitar definitely forever. Because watching your fingers go up and down there, it's just, you know, the amount of practice and rehearsal that you needed to do that is incredible. Christian Phillips, one of the amazing guys who works with Tad, he's an amazing guitarist, and like every single guitar solo you've ever heard, he nails it. And he goes, oh, it's just having a practice, you know, just Kane to my fingers. It just makes me sick, is what I'm saying. But Adam, you have an incredible gift. I love talent. What got you in to learning? Why did you choose the Spanish guitar?
Well, it started off when I was 14, 15. I was into Nirvana, like massively. Like it just woke up one day and I was in science actually. And my friend passed me a Nirvana CD. I was like, okay, I want to play that aggressive guitar sound, that distorted guitar and Kurt's vocals. So for the next 4 years, I was just dedicated every day, just loving music, wanting to be in a band. And I did get into a few bands, and that was like the vision, to try and get the record deal and do all that stuff. But being in the band is not just about having good songs, is it? It's like everyone's got to push together and pull together and do all the networking and have that dedication to turn up on rehearsal and all that. So after several years of me kind of being the only one who was like, oh yeah, let's do this, I left the band. And then a couple of months later, I discovered flamenco. I went on holiday and I saw flamenco in a bar. And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, this guy just needs himself and the guitar. I want to do all of the techniques. It was just phenomenal. The right hand techniques are just something else, and the sound is incredible. So that's what really got me into it. So then I came home and had lessons in the tropical paradise that is Pinho, which is about half an hour from me. And yeah, every Tuesday morning, so this is back in 2002, I was working in a garden centre, and every Tuesday morning we'd get up at 5:30, get on the train and go and have these lessons at 8:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Practice every day.
And you have to, it's not something you can just let up. You've got to continually do it all the time.
Definitely,
I'm noticing this picture behind your head as well. What's going on with all the Muse stuff? Are you a big fan?
Yeah, Muse also come from Teignmouth. Muse are from Teignmouth, and they're several years older than me, but were massively influential. I mean, the fact that when their first album was released, it was just like, this is absolutely amazing. And then just the fact they're from Teignmouth and you would see them around was just really inspiring. And then the second album came out with Plug-in Baby and all those songs. It's like, oh man, this is what it must have felt like for Nirvana fans hearing Nevermind. So that was my sort of 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old self listening to that. And massively inspirational, and really gave me the belief that, you can become a musician and do some good stuff.
And boy, have you done that. You mentioned at the top of the show, in the introductions, a gentleman by the name of Manitas de Plata.
Yeah.
Tell me about him, mate. Who is he? What has he done? And who is he to you?
Oh, for me, he's... Okay, where to begin? So he was discovered by Picasso in 1964, and Picasso said that this man is a genius, that he's of greater worth than I am. So when someone says something like that, you're going to go places. I heard his music. Yeah, I heard his music in 2009, and it just changed my life. This style of gypsy flamenco is so free and so open. Was just everything. It's just like having a blank canvas and putting all the colours you want on there, how you want, and there were no rules to it, which I really liked. It was just playing. And so I listened to his music every day, practiced every day. And in 2012, went down to meet him, hoping for 15 minutes of his time. And it turned into him taking me in and mentoring me and just changing my life, and telling me what I was doing well and telling me what I needed to improve. But just being sat with him and going through photos of him with Jimi Hendrix and Queen and the Queen Mother, and just those old black and white photos of his real life was like, gosh, it's something else. And just felt I was sat next to him, and he just started playing this music I've heard so many times in his albums and on YouTube, and think, God, this guy just played. Like, there's no kind of, there's nothing. He just played. He played what he wanted to play, and it was so real. So when you're sat there, you think, it's a very weird parallel of like surreal and real. And like he just said to me, it's just practice. It's just practice. So yeah, I practice and practice.
It's a bit more than that. I think you've got to be born with that gift, haven't you? Some people just have a flair for it that just make it look so easy.
Yeah, I think it matches the style. It matches just the soul of the person. I think it's a very free flowing. It's very calming for me, even when it's like loud and thrashy stuff. It's very calming. It's very therapeutic, and that's when I'm on stage. It's for those 45 minutes. I am somewhere else, just floating away. It's great. It's on a whole other level. It's true peace.
And in your show, Adam, do you do a lot of classical stuff as well as flamenco, or is it just?
Yeah. I put in a few classical numbers, like the big famous ones like Romance and Pavan, Memories of the Alhambra. They're beautiful pieces. Take me back to when I was living in Spain in 2008 and 9. And then I've started doing quite a few covers for the last few years. So I drop in like a little Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, but always open and close with, you know, some epic flamenco pieces and of course throughout the show as well. So it's my show since 2017 has developed a lot from me just wanting to go flamenco to what can I add flamenco to some of my favourite songs and just experimenting with it all.
It's been a long time since I've A, seen you, but B, seen you adapt from being an on-board, standing in a lounge, doing what you do, you know, and getting the odd 10 minutes here and there in one show. But you've gone from that to doing your own 2 45-minute shows on cruise ships now. How have you adapted? Is there a lot of you talking, giving history? Give us a little feel of the show.
Yeah, well, actually, you've got a big part to play in this. I mean, one of the best educations you get when I was on the ships for 6 months, 9 months at a time is going to the theatre every night and watching the other acts. And, you know, if you're hungry for it, you'll go there every night and watch and learn. And I just felt myself sitting down in the lounge thinking, I want to do a bit more, I want to say a bit more, I want to announce things and maybe tell a story. So I don't know if you remember, but I remember asking you, saying, how can I introduce this song? And, you know, what would you say that? And then you asked me a few questions and suddenly it just kind of wrote itself. I remember it was Romance. It was a song Romance. And you gave us an introduction. I thought, God, that's so good. And then it's just a case of kind of experimenting and feeling comfortable with it. And I drop a few funnies in there as well, which is always good. But it's one thing kind of having, you know, your ability, what you do, the singing or guitar, whatever you do. And then the bits in between the songs are so important, which I very quickly realised and had to formulate a story and narrate the show like a thread. In fact, that was the word that you used, the word thread.
Yeah, my career was hanging by one at the time. I think that's why I was giving it to you. Well, Linda Wolf is an amazing person involved with Tad. She's an incredible photographer and a gorgeous lady. She said, has Adam ever heard of Esteban? He's from Arizona.
Yes, Esteban, yes. I've listened to a few of his stuff. He's this kind of gypsy guy, plays some unbelievable music. They're quite long pieces. They're about 10, 12 minutes, and they just evolve into something, really incredible.
Wow, Adam, let's give the audience a little flavour of what you do. This is going to show you exactly how amazing Adam Westcott is. Have a look at this. Thank you, Ross.
Flamenco items would Jose say best describes you? Would it be the castanet? Rhythmic, musical and persistent? Ooh. Or would it be the fan? breezy, calming, but can occasionally flap?
Ooh.
Or would it be the Spanish guitar?
Olé!
Beautiful. Loud, the centre of attention, and often accompanied by the stamping of feet. So your options are, and before I read them to you again, big round of applause, please, for Adam and Natalie. Well done, guys. Thank you.
Adam, that's an incredible talent, my friend. I mean, just the ability to stand there so exposed with you and just your instrument, and the ability to... Listen, I play a little bit of guitar, and every time I stand in front of a mirror doing it myself, I'm terrified. Do you even think about not getting the right note when you're playing that speed?
That's the beauty about flamenco. There are no wrong notes, even if you do play a wrong note. No, it's just like it's just the years of practice, building the house one brick at a time, and now it's just I just enjoy it so much. It's just a wonderful flow that I really enjoy. So no, I don't really worry about it. And if I do make a wrong note, I think, oh, okay, they were quite lucky to hear that. I don't do that often.
That's just to prove that it was live. That's why you do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And what about the gigs you've done? You've done some pretty impressive gigs out there and worked with quite a great... Give you a clue?
Yeah, Kenny G. Yeah, so that was 2009. I did the Royal Albert Hall, supported Kenny G, which was just amazing, unbelievable experience. One of the most nervous times I've ever been, felt physically sick before I went on, but then this kind of amazing amount of excitement just washed over me when I was standing in the wings thinking there's 5,250 people here and here we go. And it was a lot of fun. As soon as I walked on, it was just like, wow, this is...
You don't realise how big the Royal Albert Hall is until you stand inside it. And just to take in, have you been in there, Kayla? Have you seen the Albert Hall from the inside?
Oh, yeah, amazing.
Venue, isn't it? Incredible venue. What about you, Kayla? Have you got any ambitions to play the bigger stage?
Yes. I mean, I'd love to. I mean, I have been lucky and performed on some big stages. I did Symphony Hall in Birmingham. I've done Theatre Royal, Drury Lane. So I have done some bigger venues, but I'm always up for more.
Well, we'll see what we can do with Tad. See what we can do. Adam's got, I believe, an album coming out soon. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got a single coming out on the 16th of July, and I'm really excited about that. It's something a little bit different. It's a kind of verse, chorus song with a great vocal friend of mine. I wrote the song back in 2017 and thought, this is really catchy. It's got a great hook, and it's using my flamenco techniques. But I needed the right voice, and I found someone several months ago on a ship. Actually, it was my next door neighbour, and he knocked on my door and said, "You have been practicing." And I don't usually practice in my cabin, by the way, but I knew that the next door neighbours are guest entertainers. I'm just putting that out there. And he said, "That sounds really great. That sounds amazing." So I said, "Okay, come in." And he looked just like someone that we know. I was like, "You don't know Pete Matthews, do you, by any chance?" He went, "Yeah, I'm his cousin."
Oh my goodness.
So it's Pete Matthews' cousin, and so we just jammed. And I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I'm a singer." And then we just kind of went from there. I said, "I've got a song," and he went, "I'll try and sing it," and it just came up trump. So yeah, it's brilliant.
How can people get hold of that, mate?
It's going to be on Spotify and iTunes on hopefully the 16th of July, but I can let you know all that. So it's called Buy Me and More, which means Dance My Love. And yeah, really happy with it and excited about it.
We have to send it over. Send the link, stick it on. We'll see if we can get it published and get some people to listen and download it.
Oh, thank you.
Get a few quid, my friend. What about the highlight, Adam? What's been the biggest thing that you've done so far that you can go, yeah, that's ticked the box?
The biggest highlight so far? There's been so many. I think this year I was in Antarctica on a ship. Tad's put me on a Honda America ship, and for me that's the pinnacle of my personal opinion. It's just Antarctica. It's like something else. I couldn't believe how far down you are. I mean, I've been to Ushuaia before a few times, which is again kind of mind-boggling. But Antarctica, going there for 2 weeks and just going through like the landscape and just that silence and seeing the turquoise glow from the icebergs and the animals, and just like, wow, man alive, I'm so far away from Timoth and Devon. I'm in Antarctica. I'm one of the few people that's gone there. And I'm playing, and I'm doing this because of my music. It's like that was the best gig.
It's a great ticket to see the world, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so that's certainly one. That's certainly one. St. Helena was another place which has been an absolute highlight. 4 days there, and just thinking, can't believe that. It's amazing. It's been great to do like some TV. TV's been great. That ITV show was important for me. It was 2016, and I thought, yeah, people are going to see what I can do, and so that was a nice personal achievement. But yeah, hopefully there's a few more to come. Vegas is on my horizon.
Well, again, that's one of your bucket list things, mate. So fingers crossed you'll be out there very soon. It's an incredible talent, Adam. It really is. Kayla, what about you, mate? Have you got any things that you've ticked off that bucket list already, or big highlights in your life?
I think doing some of the bigger venues, the Symphony Hall and that's kind of given me a real appetite for it. And to be honest, I'm just absolutely chomping at the bit to get started with Tad and get out there. I'm super excited.
It's crazy. It's just decimated literally the entertainment and the travel industry solely. So as well as everything else, it's just incredible. So many people waiting to get out, and thankfully we still got, like, Adam's got his instrument, he can play it. You can get your uniform on and go out and do VE Day and stuff like that. It's fantastic. We're going to jump to a little bit of the show now, what's called Where in the World is Terry? Now, what this is...
Where in the world is Terry? Where in the world is Terry?
Right. The idea of this is it's a virtual background. I'm going to change my background, and I'm going to give you a couple of easy ones. I've given you iconic British landmarks, right? Some of them are going to be dead easy, but there's going to be one or two in there that you're going to go, I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do, what Terry does is he sends himself wherever he wants to go in the world, but we're going to stay right here in the UK. I'm going to start with you, Kalo. I'm going to give you a pretty easy one. Where am I?
Oh, God. It's...
Where am I? You're flamenco dancing now, yeah?
It's up north.
Yes. Think wings, dear. Think wings. The halo.
Yeah, it's the Angel of the North, but I don't know where in the north it is. Whereabouts? Newcastle. Right. So there we go. Yes.
We'll give you 5 out of 10 there. You get 5 house points for that one. Adam, we're going to give you a nice and easy one. Let's go with this.
That is Tower Bridge.
Very good. A very simple one. We like that. Another simple one for you, Kayla. What about this?
Oh, that looks like a game of Jenga that's gone wrong. That's Stonehenge, that is.
It is. Have you ever been to Stonehenge?
No. In fact, I'm going to add that to my bucket list because I would like to go. I think it'd be fascinating.
When you drive back through Salisbury, or when you drive on the road through Salisbury, you can see it from the road. And it's always amazed me how enormous it is, because pictures never give it its true perspective. It's incredible. If you get a chance to have a go around the tour on that, it's a really fascinating day out. Adam, that was a pretty easy one. Let me give you this one.
Oh, okay. I'm going to guess and say it's not. Is it Land's End or Scotland?
Oh, it's an island.
It's an island. Ireland is an island.
A very famous place that I've never been to. This place is on my bucket list.
Is it?
I want to see this amazing rock formation.
It is. It is in Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Is it in? It's not.
No. What's the name of it? Just give me the name of it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the name of it is. Sorry.
Anyone guessing in?
Is it Giant's Causeway?
It is the Giant's Causeway. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
I
was going to say that.
I was impressed with that. You've redeemed yourself. You get your 5 house points back.
Yay!
Kayla, what about this? Where am I?
Is that your place, Sam?
No, we renovated it. We added on. We built onto the other side because the west wing was too small. Now I'll give you a clue. It's north of the border and it's on a very high hill opposite a main street in the capital.
Oh God, I don't know. You have to take those house points off me. Go on.
Yeah, I know this one. Edinburgh.
It's Edinburgh Castle.
Edinburgh Castle. Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Adam. If you know Scotland, where is this?
Is that Loch Ness?
That's Loch Ness. It is. That's exactly where it is. Have you ever been up there to Inverness?
No, I've been to Scotland a few times, but not Inverness. No.
I mean, places I've seen in the world. I've never seen Antarctica, and that's one of my places I want to go and see. But this is the only place I've ever been to that literally took my breath away. Drove right the way around the loch. It takes hours. You could fit every body of water in the UK inside Loch Ness. It's that big. It's an absolutely enormous place.
To get there sometime.
Beautiful place. Beautiful people up there. Beautiful theatre. So I want to ask you another question, another random question. Kayla, I want to ask you, what is your biggest turn on and what is your biggest turn off? What really turns you on? What really turns you off?
Well, food.
Turns you on?
Food. Just generally food. I am terrible. I love my quiche. I love my chocolates. And yeah, if you want to get me to do anything, just promise that there's a meal thrown in,
Well, so is that the turn on or the turn off? Because I haven't quite got the feeling yet. You're not giving me much to go on.
That's a big turn on is food of any description. Turn off. My next door neighbours love frogs, and they've got lots of statues of frogs in the back garden, but I can't. Frogs.
It's a good impression. It's a good impression, mate.
Full frog.
So you hate frogs, but you love food. So frogs' legs.
So frogs' legs are off the menu. Totally.
Laura Jean Daniels said food. Absolutely, we love food. Lots of people are getting Giant's Causeway, Edinburgh, right? Tad fans love Kalo. We love all this. And Jan Stebbing says you are adorable. She's the head of our cruise division. Both of you. Adam, what about you? What's your turn on and turn off in your life, my friend?
I think food is up there as well. Yeah, food. Definitely food.
Food as you fall out of an aeroplane.
Say again?
Food as you fall out of an aeroplane or in a
Yeah. Another one I was on the bucket list I didn't say was swimming with great whites down in like Cape Town or something in the cage.
You were given 3. We don't want to know anymore. That's it.
Sorry, but I should have put that in there. Sorry.
It's not my fault. They were forced on me. Anyway, so what's the turn off, my friend?
Turn off. I say like bad manners, just like being rude,
Yeah, and it's weird, because I went out the other day, and I live in the south, and the south is very different to the north in England, because up north everybody will talk to everybody. But no matter where you are, they'll just strike up a conversation. Down south, it's very different. They're quite reserved down south. But I went on a short walk. I live down south in Hertfordshire, and everybody I walked past said good morning to. Everybody. So this is really creating a sense of community, this coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's great the way it's turning out. Well, let's just hope it comes away very soon as well so we can get you guys out there. Right, I've got one more question. This is the big question that we ask every single guest that comes on a Tad Talk. It's a very... we get lots of different variations of answer to this. And I believe if we asked you the question every single day, you'd have a different answer. And the question, I'm going to start with you, Kayla. If you could spend an hour with any 2 people, alive or dead, and have a conversation, who would those 2 people be and where would you have that conversation?
Okay, the first person would have to be Karen Carpenter. She had the most beautiful voice. It was like melted caramel on your log hole. I mean, just beautiful. And I'd love to give her a great big hug and tell her what everybody else saw in her that she couldn't see in herself, that beauty. She was perfect.
Great.
And the other person is Dolly Parton, because Dolly Parton, she's incredible. She's got that wonderful self-deprecating humour. She's multi-talented. She plays all these instruments. She writes her songs. but she's still so very grounded, and she has that endearing thing about her that genuinely makes you feel like you've got a best mate up there. So it would be those two girls, and I mentioned it before, it would have to be a nail salon because potted fingers, yuck.
The nails done, all pals. It's that the weirdest thing you just talked about with Dolly Parton, about just like she's your best friend up there, being able to portray that sincerity on stage. It's a skill, isn't it? Because you're totally exposed up there. It's you and then everybody else who's looking right at you, because you've been both sides. How have you found getting that across, Kayla? Have you found it easy? Has it been natural for you?
Yeah, I do find it easier. But I think the one thing that I admire about Dolly is that she can do it on such a huge scale. She can do it in auditoriums, and it's very difficult. Say more with comedy, to do things on a big scale, because it relies upon people being able to see your facial expressions, your gurning. I do a lot of gurning in my shows. So it's nice to have them kind of close, almost as if they're sort of gathered around you. But Dolly can convey that in an auditorium, which is that warmth. You feel it from her. And I think it's a gift. It's a real gift to be able to do that. And she does it.
From me to you, we've never seen you perform live yet, but we've only seen you from a video, and you portray that. It's a difficult attribute. I was going to say skill, but it's not. It's something you can't learn. Is that naturalness on stage? You have that.
You blush.
What about you, Adam? 2 people, 1 place, anybody, alive or dead. Where would you go, and who would you speak to?
I would love to have spoken to Kurt Cobain from Nirvana. And they say don't meet your heroes, but all of his art is in the music, and so but I just think it would be something quite special to have an hour chat with him, playing. I'll probably bring my guitar and we'll probably have a little jam. Yes, that'd be good. That'd be great. And Marilyn Monroe, because she was an icon, and it would just be, I think that'd be a fun conversation. I think with Kurt, it would get quite heavy, so you'd have to move on to a more a lighter and more entertaining side with Marilyn Monroe. So yeah, that'd be my 2. But I think Kurt, just be fascinating to just have a chat and just jam out some songs. And
where would you go with both of these? Because that would be a great day out.
Where to go? I'd go, I think with Kurt, it'd be good to go to like a rehearsal room.
Okay.
Just go to a rehearsal room. I think with Dolly Parton and Marilyn Monroe, I think it'd be good to, go to like a bar or something, I think it should be, it could get quite lively, So that's, bar with Marilyn, rehearsal room with Kurt.
You'd have to speak up because there's social distancing now, though. That conversation would be strained, wouldn't it? 2 meters away from each other. Listen, I cannot thank you both enough. You've both been incredible guests today. Got a little bit beneath the skin, found out a little bit about your life. It's been great. We wish you all of the best in your careers and your future. Both incredible entertainers. Thanks so much for coming on Tad Talk and taking the time. It's been brilliant.
Thank you
very much.
Thanks a lot. And thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for joining us today on Tad Talk. It's the weekend coming up. Have a great weekend. Remember, coronavirus is still a thing. So stay safe, wash your hands, look after each other. Come back and join us. Nick and Terry will be back, and I'll be back next week as well with some more guests right here on Tad Talk. Take care of yourselves. And thanks to Ross. Take care, Ross. Thanks for all your help, buddy. Take care. Good night.